YouTube. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. A late podcast, cover one podcast. I'm doing this thing all by myself. Go ahead and like the video, comment, and subscribe to Vernon Speak Sports Auburn. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle. I think one of the looming questions when you talk about the transition from Gus Malzahn, who has been at the helm since 2013, he lost his job after that hideous dance he did after the Mississippi State game. The biggest question is, who's the next coach going to be? Well, Auburn has decided that. And it is Bryan Harsin, which we've talked about almost just in a crazy kind of way. We've talked about him a lot. I think the biggest thing is speculation at this point. Can he transfer what he accomplished as a coach, as a head coach at Boise State, to the SEC ranks? A lot of folks may think, well, he can't. He won't be able to recruit, or he can't bring what he has to the table and compete year in and year out against Nick Saban, against Kirby Smart, assuming Ed Orgeron is going to continue to be the head coach at LSU. They're making some changes over there. The biggest thing is, will he deliver? Will he be the coach that can take Auburn to the level that competes for championships consistently? Now, I'll be fair with you. I honestly don't know. Based on the body of work, I honestly don't know. I think there's a lot of potential energy there to where he can. The key is going to be how he positions himself with coordinators, of course. Can he do it with what's there? Or is he going to have to clean house? That's the first question that we have to ask. Who does he retain? A lot of the Auburn faithful would probably say, hey, you need to clean your offense out, keep the defense. But how do we know that that's what his aim is? How do we know that that's what he visualizes as his level of set? Let me give you an example. Now, I took a job recently to where I had no say of who I could bring in, who I could implement as my staff. I had to take what was there. I had to own what was there. See, this is the difference with Bryan Harsin. He doesn't particularly have to own what's there. And there might be some speculations that says, based on the contract, you got to keep this guy, you got to keep that guy. But I'm all for whatever Bryan Harsin feels that he has to do to be ultimately successful. Here's a good move by Bryan Harsin. The same night or the same day that he took on the job or the position at Auburn as far as doing his presser, that same day he reached out to a very huge recruit in the Auburn 2021 recruiting class in Trevon Wallace, a linebacker out of the state of Georgia that Auburn had targeted as one of the biggest recruits of this class, and for rightfully so. If you look at the chronology of this thing, Auburn actually needs linebackers. You got linebackers that are there. You got linebackers that are in the fold, but at the same time, they lack talent. Well, I wouldn't say lack talent, but they lack depth. They lack all of those different things to where you got to have a guy like this in your recruiting class. And Bryan Harsin made an immediate attempt to contact this guy to let you know, hey, just because Gus Malzahn is gone now, that does not mean that you're not an important piece to this puzzle, especially with you are still undecided in your recruitment. So can Bryan Harsin be successful? All the intangible says he has the potential to do so. I think he has a great offense that keeps defenses off balance. He has the tools in place to where he can have, a somewhat level of immediate success. But that is yet to be seen. And I think the Auburn fan base has to be patient with this thing. I understand the 5+ loss seasons consecutively from Gus Malzahn has got the Auburn fan base hungry to where they want some immediate success, to where they can compete on a high level with LSU, Georgia, and Alabama. But you got to be patient. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast Talking Auburn Football. Like the video, comment, and subscribe. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.